All right, and it looks like we got everything back and up and running. I apologize to everybody for that first half. We didn't have the desktop audio running, so a quick recap of the first half. We did have our players finishing up on the shore up in Northrend, sailing on back. According to the squeaky toy,
Yes.
according to the Stormwind Gazette, you guys killed a couple of killer whales for no reason on your way back to Orgrimmar. No? All right.
The Stormwind Gazette? Oh, geez.
Yeah, the Alliance. Never mind.
I got it.
It's a left joke. It's fine. So you guys did make it back to Orgrimmar. You got paid handsomely. And we basically spent the rest of the time period figuring out what kind of magic items you guys wanted. And they're all a big fat mystery now because the stream didn't hear you decide what you wanted. But yeah, we will continue on to the grand meeting. So you guys have been now in Orgrimmar for 5 days. You've gotten all your magic items made and ready to go. And you guys are assembling along with your respective races because every single one of the major races of the Horde were brought along for the ride here to come meet at the behest of good old Garrosh. And so you guys, you see each other and you greet each other a little bit as you go to enter the Warchief's hold in the Valley of Strength. It's right at the main entrance of Orgrimmar, right in the middle of the big city. There's this giant building that's got a whole bunch of iron scaffolding and the Horde, like the token Horde spikes all over the building. And as you go in, you see all of the different races are here. The Blood Elves, the newly entered into the fold Goblins. You see the Undead coming in. Sylvanas has stayed here since she arrived along with you guys. And everybody files on in and sits down at a large table. The leaders sit at the table and everybody kind of stands behind their leader. In the throne room. You guys see this giant throne made for the Warchief. He actually has this giant skull from the demon Manaroth that had been slayed by Grom Hellscream, Garrosh's father. And the tusks originally were on the outside of the hold, but he had them moved in to adorn the throne. And so everybody sits down, and you guys see Sylvanas at the end of the table, along with all of her undead behind her. Next to them is Vol'jin and Gallywix, the goblin leader. Vol'jin, the leader of the Darkspear Trolls. And then on the other side of the table, Bane Bloodhoof, the leader of the Tauren, and Lorthamar Theron, the regent lord of the Blood Elves, are kind of flanking the end of the table closest to the throne. And as you guys all get settled in there's still a lot of people talking, but you do turn and you see a large orc enter the room. He's sporting the colors of the Kor'kron, which are the Warchief's elite guards. This orc only has 3 fingers and he had on one hand, and he has a large livid scar zigzagging across his face and down his throat. He's got red war paint that's spread across his face and arms. But the main thing that jumps out at you all is that as the dark gray tone of the orc's skin, which marks him as a former member of the Blackrock clan, who were enemies of the Horde before they were defeated. But he gestures to several orcs that are holding horns behind him as they enter the room and flank the entrance of the chamber. They blow a long, deep note, a deep, resonating tone, and it calls everyone to order. And then the Blackrock orc turns to everyone and says, "Your mighty leader, Garrosh Hellscream, approaches. Show him all honor." And then thumps his fist across his chest in a salute and turns to the entrance of the Horde, or the entrance of the hold. Immediately, you see a large brown-skinned orc. You've all seen him before. Legendary warrior and war hero. greatest tactical mind of the Horde, you see Garrosh Hellscream enter. And actually, you guys do have all of, in the handouts, you guys have all of these people under leaders and noteworthy characters, if any of you want to check out what they look like. But in particular, here's Garrosh. So as he enters the hold, he raises his arms and says, "I bid you welcome. You are all true servants of the Horde. Your war chief calls you, and you come. Much has happened since I took up the mantle of war chief. We've faced trials and dangers, threats to our world and our way of life, and yet we persevere. We are the Horde. We will not let anything break our spirits." And as he raises Gore Howl, another mighty cheer is let out, and along with many shouting, for the Horde, the regular chant. Garrosh then nods approvingly as he scans over the room and strides towards his throne. Says, "You do not disappoint me. You are the finest representatives of your races, the leaders, the generals, the champions, and that is why I have called you all here." And as he goes and takes his seat on the throne, you're all out in the crowd. You get the sense that this is mainly a meeting between the leaders, that you're all basically here to bear witness to the meeting. However, if you do want to interject something, you certainly can. It's not against the rules. But you get the sense that it's like, it better be pretty damn important. But as he takes the seat on the throne, he continues, "There is a menace that has been present for too long, which we must now root out without mercy. A threat has challenged us for years, to which we have turned a blind eye in the mistaken notion that tolerance of a little shame will do no harm to the mighty Horde. I have said again, and will say now, any shame is a great shame. Any injury is a great injury, and we will endure it no longer. We have a destiny to fulfill, and there is an obstacle to that destiny, one that we must crush beneath our feet like the insect that it truly is. For far too long, the Alliance pests have wormed their way into our lands of Kalimdor, not content with their stranglehold over the eastern kingdoms, chipping away at our resources and crippling our potential for growth. I cannot accept that in my heart that our fate is to bow and scrape and sue for peace before the Alliance. It is our right to dominate and control the land of Kalimdor. It is ours, and we will claim it as such. To that end, it is my intent to lead the Horde on a mission that will restore us to our rightful path. Our first target will be Northwatch Hold. We will raise it, and once we have reclaimed that land as ours, we will move on to our next step. Theramore!" And to this, there are many cheers, but there are also a lot of cries of protests in the audience. Out of the din, you hear a voice from the Forsaken section, though it's not Sylvanas'. "War Chief, the Lady Jaina is too powerful. She has been passive and quiet. Rouse her, and we will have a war on our hands. A war we are not prepared to fight." You then hear a deep, low rumble coming from Bane, the leader of the Tauren.
Tauren.
Yeah. "She has behaved with fairness time and time again. When she could have responded with deceit or force. Her diplomatic efforts and her decision to work with War Chief Thrall has saved countless lives. To storm her realm with no provocation does not give honor to the Horde, and it's foolish besides." Garrosh then turns back to Bane and says, "First, Thrall has given leadership of the Horde to me. What he did or did not do means nothing now. I am the War Chief, and my decisions are what matters. And those of you who condemn my plan do not even know what it entails. Be silent and listen. You respond to my request as if Theramore were the goal, but I assure you that it is not. I speak also and even more vigorously of the Night Elves. Let them flee to the Eastern Kingdoms as we crush their cities and take their resources." You now see the blue-skinned troll Vol'jin, leader of the Darkspear Trolls, snap his head around. He says, "Drive them all out? They've been here longer than we have. And we try something like that, the Alliance be all over us. You just be giving them the excuse they've been looking for." And you guys know that Garrosh and Vol'jin have not been getting along very well recently. You see him shoot a cold stare back at the troll. The Night Elves claim compassion and wisdom, yet they murder us for harvesting a few trees that would give us life-giving shelter. The Night Elves have lived here long enough. Let them now linger as a bad memory. This is the Horde's hour to regain this continent, and we shall. You then finally see Sylvanas stand across from Garrosh as she responds. The Alliance may indeed be driven from Kalimdor, Warchief. But what of our lands in the Eastern Kingdoms? Varian will march on my borders and destroy us, and Silvermoon shortly thereafter. She then turns towards Lorthamar, the leader of the Blood Elves, seemingly in hopes of support from the Blood Elf leader, but he just remains silent and continues looking at Garrosh.
I'll pipe up and say, "What she said."
Yeah. You all then hear a new voice. It's kind of shrill and screechy, but you don't see anyone talking. However, you do see the top hat of the Goblin Prince Gallywix bobbing up and down from below the view of the crowd and the table. What I hear is talk of profits for everyone. Why not expand, take the resources of our enemies, and driving them away at the same time? Even war is good business if you go about it properly. You then see Garrosh stand, and as he cuts off the goblin, says, "This is the will of your war chief. First, Northwatch hold, then Theramore. Then we drive the Night Elves before us, and we take for ours what is theirs." He then turns to Sylvanas. "As for any Alliance protests, they will be dealt with swiftly. I am grateful for your obedience in these matters, but I expect nothing less from the mighty Horde. Return now to your homes and prepare. You will hear from me again soon. For the Horde!" And again, the room takes up the cry. Yeah. But you notice that there is less gusto behind the roar this time. As people... So that's basically the shortened version of the talks. There's a lot more to it, but that's the big part of it. And as you start to see people file out, you see two things going on. First of all, you see Vol'jin getting up and going over to speak with Bane privately. And you also see Garrosh motion towards Lorthamar, the Blood Elf leader, as he whispers to one of his Korkron, and they start to head in his direction. So you guys get the sense that as things are breaking up here, there are a couple conversations that if you guys want to, you could try to listen in on, or you can just leave the hold and go on about your business. What would you like to do?
I want to try to listen in on Lorthamar.
Okay. Anyone else?
I don't know who's important, so I will.
I'll follow Grendel's lead.
They're all important.
They are. They're all very important. Yeah, these are all the leaders of the, like, you can think of the different factions of the Horde as different countries that have come together in one, like, coalition. So
They're the UN.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Un.
Yeah. So basically...
Garrosh is leader of the Un.
Yeah, he's the kind of supreme leader, but yeah, they all have power over their individual races. What they do.
Tala is going to go listen in and buy the Torn.
All right.
I will do the same.
So, we'll first start with Tala and Tallulah. So what I want you to do is roll a stealth check. You guys are trying to get close enough that you can hear their conversation without making it obvious that you're trying to listen to their conversation.
Okay, I just rolled an 18. I just want to point that out.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Well, it was a 17, but I mean, yeah, it's still,
Sure.
Yeah.
Sorry, my computer's lagging. I'm trying.
That's okay. No problem.
There it is. Stealth. Oh, I'm not good at that, I don't think. I'm a clumsy cow.
So we're going to call that an average of 13, which is enough to pass. You guys, They see that you're hanging around, but you were already kind of in Bane's like area, in the Tauren area, and kind of over by where the trolls were as well. So you kind of just look like you're slowly going with the line out of the hold as you hear them. Vol'jin goes up to Bane in a hushed tone and says, "You baited him." He said, I did. It was not wise." "No, it wasn't. That's why I gotta stay quiet. Gotta think of my people." "I understand, but I know what your heart is telling you." Vol'jin sighs, and he's looking kind of somber. He's clearly not very happy with this, and neither of them are. But he's like, "This be a bad path we be walking down." Tell me, do you know who that Blackrock orc was? You see Vol'jin scowl as he kind of looks over in his direction. "He be Malkarok. They say he still don't like the light of Durotar after being so long in the Blackrock Mountain serving Rend. He denounced his crimes in service to Rend and asked for amnesty. Garrosh be giving it to him along with any others who swear him with their lives. Now Wachief got a nice big dog with sharp teeth to protect him. But how can he be trusted? Ha! Some might say, how can the Grim Totem be trusted? You let the ones that swear you loyalty stay in Thunderbluff. Perhaps I'm inclined to prejudge, but I think better of Taurens than I do of orcs. These days, so do I." He kind of pats him on the shoulder and starts to walk away.
Bane's racist.
I mean, you have the same reactions, so...
That's fair.
So meanwhile, on the other side, I will have the other... so it's two of you that were following a little bit close to Lorthamar?
It was me and Jeremy, I think.
Yeah,
Yep.
Oz is just kind of staying out of it. Oz.
Oz is just picking his nose.
Nah.
Picking her nose.
Alright, so, yeah, stealth checks for you guys as well. Oh, yeah. No problem there. You guys are just... Because you're already in the caravan with the Blood Elves in that group as you're exiting the hold, and you both hear very clearly Garrosh approaches the Blood Elf leader and kind of pulls him aside. Lorthamar then turns to greet him. "You wanted to see me, Warchief?" "I do. Out of all the leaders save Gallywix, who's only supportive merely because he sees coin to be made, you're the only one who doesn't question your Warchief. Not even when Sylvanas tries to play upon your sympathy. I will not forget that. And so, I respect that, Elf. Know that your loyalty to me is duly noted." And then he turns back and responds, "The Horde embraced and supported my people when no one else would. I will not forget that. And so my loyalty, and that of my people, is to the Horde." Garrosh kind of gives him a sideways glance as he responds, "I am the Horde's Warchief, Lorthamar, and as such, I am the Horde." "You are its Warchief. Is that all you wish of me? My people are anxious to return home and prepare for the war that is to come." Kind of, there's an unpleasant pause as they kind of stare at each other for a moment. "Of course, you may go." And immediately, Lorthamar turns on his heels and makes a beeline for the front gates of Orgrimmar.
Somebody playing with like a dog toy?
Sounds like
Yeah,
it.
I think
I'm sorry.
there's a dog.
My dog.
Yeah, an excitable puppy. Is he
Yes.
still? Is he still a puppy?
She's a year old.
Yeah. That's pretty much it. People start to break away a little bit. And as you guys are kind of meeting back up and starting to head towards the, back towards your inn, you assume that you're going to be coming along for this war. So you guys are starting to get the sense that you guys are going to have something to do in particular. But then all of a sudden you hear a... not necessarily a town crier, but more of a delivery person.
A courier?
a courier that's looking around for somebody from your party, and they give you a military missive. So you guys see it's a little rolled scroll. As one of you open it up, it reads, "You are to report to High Chieftain Bane Bloodhoof at sundown in the Orgrimmar Embassy."
What's an embassy?
Yeah. So as more and more of these different factions have been brought into the Horde, there's a newly constructed embassy that's actually kind of near the Hold.
Well, I know what an embassy is, but Rowland was asking everyone else in the party, what's an embassy?
Sure. Yeah. But yeah, so you guys ask around, you figure out where it is. Is there anything else you guys want to do before going to meet up with Bane?
I don't have anything.
Alrighty.
Yeah, I don't.
No.
So you guys, you kind of take a little while to go get lunch, get something to eat, work out, all the normal stuff that adventurers do in their downtime when they don't have any better ideas of what to do. And
I kill Gammon.
Yeah, kill Gammon a few times, let him respawn, the whole shebang. But yeah, you guys do eventually go in to meet Bane, and you see he's a very large Tauren. He's a very capable warrior in his own right, even though he's new to the actual responsibilities of leadership. But he's overcome quite a lot of hardships, and especially having two Tauren in the group, you're very respective of him. And as you enter, he says, "Greetings, champions. I am the High Chieftain Bane Bloodhoof. I've heard much of your exploits, and regrettably, I have not been told your names." I assume you guys would introduce yourselves.
I'm
Yeah,
Rowland.
I think so.
I'm Tallulah.
And then Oz and Amane, and blah, blah, blah.
And
The others are mute.
Well, that's not true.
Tala's dog toy was making a lot of noise.
Uh-huh.
Tala says, my chieftain.
We killed a Kraken.
Roll a deception. Roll a deception.
I just
check.
shake my head, like, really?
Impressive. I had heard of your exploits on the high seas recently. That's quite an accomplishment. But it is a pleasure to meet you all. You come highly recommended, and I believe I have a task that is very well suited for your skill sets. In 3 days' time, the Tauren army will be departing from Thunder Bluff and reach the Great Gate, which separates the Horde-held lands of Mulgore from the Alliance-dominated lands in the Southern Barrens. Beyond that gate lies a relatively small Alliance army that is stationed on our way to Northwatch Hold. While their numbers do not concern us, their siege weaponry presents a challenge upon our approach. The Troll army is planning to sneak to the northern position of this army and attack from there, drawing their soldiers to them. I would like you to sneak around and shortly after that to attack from the southern approach. Will you be willing to accept this task?
You want us to destroy their cannons?
That would be preferable, but if you simply destroy the operators, that will function just as well.
Are the cannons planning on going over any bridges?
What? Sorry, what?
Are the cannons planning on going over any bridges?
No, they are quite stationary.
Oh. Are they on walls?
No, they are out in the open on the fields. They're facing our Great Gate just in case anything comes out. So that's our main concern. We have the numbers to brute force and push through to the ballistas to destroy them. But if we were to just simply brute force it in such a way, we would lose many Tauren on the way to them after coming out the gate.
Oh. Okay.
So our goal is to have a small splinter force, such as your own, ambush them from behind and prevent them from being able to use these as we exit the Great Gate. And so basically you guys have a choice. You can either go with Bane's path to sneak down there, or you can go with the larger Horde army and just attack from the northern end. But they'd be willing to... what he explains to you is that he'd be willing to pay you guys a little bit of extra coin beyond your normal army rate if you're willing to do the slightly more dangerous approach to Theramore.
I would wanna
To
go with
Northwatch
Bane,
Hold.
I think.
Okay.
If everybody else
Okay.
wants to.
Yeah, I'm good with that.
Yeah, I think we go with Bane.
All right. Well, thank you very much. It would be best for you to focus on the attacking the remaining group of Alliance soldiers that are manning and protecting the ballistas after the bulk of forces are drawn away to deal with the troll attack from the north. The more you take out, the less of my people will perish on our approach. The attack will begin shortly after nightfall, 3 days from now. The signal to begin the attack will be when the trolls assault the northern hills, and after the Alliance soldiers, some of the Alliance soldiers should split off to answer the troll threat to the north.
Okay.
All right, and unless you guys have any other questions for Bane. All right, so meeting
I don't know.
adjourned, and you guys all can return to Orgrimmar. Any final things you want to do? You know, it'll take about 2-ish days to get there. So, say for instance, if we're sitting on a Monday right now, the attack they're planning to do is on Thursday night. So you guys could spend Tuesday and Wednesday getting there, and then be set up for the ambush on Thursday.
I don't have anything that I want to do.
I also do not.
Okay.
No.
Yeah, you guys have pretty much taken care of all of your all of your business in the first half. So as you guys are getting ready, one of the things you can do, you can decide whether you would like to go by foot or whether you would like to purchase mounts to ride to to the Southern Barrens where you guys are planning to go.
How much are the mounts?
Well, that's the cool part, is that because you guys are not only members
Are we
of the
revered?
Horde. Yeah, revered. not only are you members of the army in the Horde, but you guys are also going on a special mission particularly for Bane in this process, and so they are willing to provide you with the mounts for free if you guys want them.
Oh, well, why not? I'll take one of the wolf things.
Yeah, that's actually, I did... Let's see. I believe I made...
Actually, no, I want a raptor mount. Can I have a raptor mount? Or do I have to have the wolf? Or can I have the goblin go-kart?
Calm down, man.
It's not my fault you don't know this game, nerd.
All right, so they have 3 mounts available. They have the Warhorse Skeleton, which typically are the only kind of mounts that will allow an undead to ride them. Because the wolves and kodos are a little bit scared by your folk. Well, not scared, like they're war animals, but they just don't like it when you try to ride them.
I'm going to try to see if I can get an amiable relationship with a wolf.
Okay.
And if I can't, then I'll take a skeleton horse.
All right. So as you guys are getting outfitted for the trek that evening, go ahead. You have them try to introduce you to one of these wolves. they're like, okay, we'll try it once and we'll see how it goes. Roll a animal handling check with disadvantage. Yeah, so you start to approach to try and get on it, and it just turns full-on teeth growling at you. It just is not okay with the undead thing. It's not having it.
I want to intimidate it and show that I am dominant.
Oh, this isn't gonna end well.
It's all in good fun. That's fine. All right, so you kind of growl back at it, and it's kind of taken aback a little bit.
What the fuck?
And it's still not really willing to it's intimidated by you, but it's still not quite sure about you. I'll tell you what, I'll give you one more animal. We'll make it a best 2 out of 3. I'll give you one more animal handling check, but still with disadvantage. Yeah, I know. So yeah, it's just not having it. So yeah, riding wolf, I think would probably be the choice for Oz. Riding kodos are the only ones that can take the weight of the larger humanoids, like the Tauren. So you both would be given riding kodos for Tala and Tallulah.
Question.
And Tallulah, Tala, you get away with it because you're still enough like a living thing that the kodo can't tell the difference.
Okay, that was my question. I was like, how am I going to get away with this if Rollin is having a problem?
Right, now Rollin is a mostly skeleton undead.
Rollin sees that Tula gets on the Kodo no problem and just stomps on the ground and like walks off in a huff, goes, "This isn't fair!"
Could I use this to help him get on the wolf or become friendly with the wolf?
Well, you can persuade it not to attack. Yeah, I wouldn't say that will convince it to take a long journey with an undead thing on its back.
Sorry, Grendel, I tried.
It's a good thought, though. If you had done that before, I might have made it a straight roll. But
and then I would have gotten it because I would have had 15.
Anyway,
Well, I'll go through and tell Grendel that I told it that it won't not convince it not to attack him.
Really? And I run over to it and just jump on it.
But I don't actually do that.
It immediately bucks you off. It's not going to attack you, but it's also still not letting you ride it.
Can I make it
No.
to try to
See,
stay on?
I told
what
him.
What is happening right now?
I don't know if you realize. I told Roland, like, no, hey, I convince it, it won't attack you, but I actually don't convince it.
Oh. So I go and try to jump on it.
Yeah, you're now being. After it bucks you off, you're now being carried out of the Mount Vendor by 2 strong armored orc guards that are forcing you to stay away from this poor wolf.
When I get up, I dust myself off and give him the finger.
They're very used to that. By the way, I want to point out that it took probably I want to say 15 to 20 minutes for the 2 or 3 pages of chit-chatting between the different horde leaders, and we've gotten at least 15 minutes of entertainment out of me literally writing Mount Vendor on my sheets. You just never know how these things are going to go. All right, anyway. So So yeah, riding Kodos for Tala and Tallulah. The wolf does go with Oz, and the skeleton for and another riding wolf would be for Amane.
I'm gonna squint at Amane and Oz with jealousy
Mm-hmm.
as I am on my undead horse.
Okay. So you guys heading out in the morning, I assume?
Yeah, I guess so.
All right. So we'll go ahead and bring up a map for you guys so you guys can kind of get an idea of where you're going and what you're doing. Oh, I should have shown you guys the Orgrimmar map. That's my bad. I forgot to hand that out when you guys got into Org.
Yay, there's
So you can kind of
Orgrimmar.
see the drag as it kind of goes around in the middle there where all the shops are. Valley of Wisdom, where you guys stayed. All that good stuff. So Duratar map, you guys are leaving from Orgrimmar up at the top. And you guys start to slowly make your way down the Duratar roads. It's just a very red, barren, dry wasteland. It's very hot. It starts in an open path, but eventually, as you're going down the road, it encloses into almost a tunnel of rocks that kind of go up and around the pathway. There are occasionally openings in it, but it does provide some relief from the heat, at least as you head on down. And then eventually coming out of that tunnel, you guys end up in Razor Hill. It's a small military encampment. It's got an inn. Could be a place for you guys to rest if you want to take a breather, but you're only about an hour and a half into your journey for the day.
Down to Senjin.
Well, we don't. So you guys aren't heading down to Senjin. You guys are actually heading from Razor Hill. You're going east.
We're not taking the flight. Okay.
No. You guys are walking there. They.
Okay.
You guys do see the as you guys were leaving, you did see the Zeppelin going back to Thunder Bluff, which you assume has Bane going back home to arrange his heroes over at Thunder Bluff.
It's probably a good thing we're not going to Sinjin because I would try to buy a raptor mount.
Grendel, let the raptor mount go.
No, the
that
wolf
was the
mount's
wolf
gone.
mount, but he would be trying with a new raptor apparently. So yeah, you guys after you get to Razor Hill, you start to go east into the South Fury watershed. Now originally this was a clean pathway, but after the cataclysm hit, a big wave of water came in, and what was already a river that separated the two areas now is a bit of a marshland over this whole pathway. So part of it you're on a path, and part of it you're treading water, and your mounts are kind of swimming with you through the marsh. You do see an occasional crocodile here or there, but your guys' band, especially with the mounts, is big enough that nothing wants to come near you, and they just kind of scatter out of your way. As you guys end up at the end of the watershed, you hit the river, which is the end, the eastmost end of Duratar, and you cross a little bridge, which is kind of ironic because you basically pop up out of the marsh all wet, and then there's just a fully built bridge that just takes you over the river, as if you really needed a bridge after you're already wet. You might as well just go through the river. But anyway, you go up over the bridge, and you end up crossing over into the Northern Barrens. Thus far, an uneventful trip. But you do pass Farwatch Post as you continue on the trek. You eventually then get to the main, the kind of the middle of the map where that main road ends, and you hang a left. There's a signpost. You guys notice it says north is Ashenvale, back east is Duratar, and then south goes to the crossroads into Mulgore. And you guys do head south to the crossroads. And by now you've been traveling for a few hours as you kind of get into the crossroads. It's kind of a small city hub. Like it's not quite. It's obviously not like Orgrimmar, but it's a small trade city / village. It's got like a large 3-tier inn, and it's also there's a training post a little bit to the north where they train all of the new members of the Corcoran. So like the best guards get upgraded into Corcoran. So this is kind of a very well-established Horde military post as well. If anybody attacks it, they just bring everybody down from the main training building. But you guys are starting to get to the end of the day, and this seems like a good place for you guys to rest.
Sounds good to me.
Now, there are also a lot of traders here. If you guys want to look for any last-minute things to trade for, or anything you maybe forgot to buy in Orgrimmar that they might have here.
Can I trade my horse for a wolf mount?
Oh my gosh. It all comes full circle.
Tal will be interested in getting some healing potions.
Okay, yes.
Ooh, good call.
Yeah, there is an alchemy trainer here, and a trader. And they have 3 regular healing potions and one of the next one up, which...
Greater?
Yeah, greater healing potion.
Did we
So
lose
the basic...
Brian, by the way?
Yeah, he wasn't feeling very well, so he went to bed early.
Okay.
Jeremy's just going to run his character. So yeah, 3 regular healing potions that are 50 gold each, and then 1 greater healing potion, which is 250.
I'm gonna buy the lot of it.
Okay. So that would be
That's- you said-
400 gold for the 3 healing potions and 1 greater.
Let me put that on my inventory.
They also, you've pretty much cleaned out their stock, but they do have 5 potions of climbing.
I have a bunch of healing potions, so I think we're good on those.
We need a potion of climbing, you said?
Well, they have them for sale. I don't know if you need one.
I think it's in here. Now, what does a potion of climbing do? So yeah, when you drink this potion, you gain climbing speed equal to your walking speed for 1 hour. So basically, it just will freely let you climb over and around something. And those
Sounds
ones
like you
are-
won't even have to make checks.
Right. And those are 25 gold each. But otherwise, you guys have a pretty uneventful night and uneventful trek so far. You know, these are all Horde-held lands, and so you're very comfortable just going right along the road. You're not going to encounter anything. Generally, wild things don't come out onto the road because they're so traveled. They know to avoid those, or they're likely to be killed and eaten. And then you guys, in the morning, you wake up and you continue your travel.
I just as a point, Jay, I bought one of those potions of climbing potions as we were leaving.
Okay. Another 25 gold. And then, so yeah, back to where I was on my trek notes here. So after leaving the crossroads, you guys are now traveling along the Gold Road to the south. And in the northern Barrens, it's a little bit more yellow kind of tint to all of the land. It's not like boiling red like Duratar. There's a little bit of stale grass that grows along the land, so it's enough for there to be some wildlife out there eating. But eventually, as you're going down the southern road in the Barrens, you guys eventually start to see this giant rent in the land. It is just a massive crevasse, and you see it extending up to the northwest, and it basically, the Barrens used to be one big land, but now this is why they now call it Northern and Southern. It's a newly adopted thing after the Cataclysm. There's now this giant rent, and as you guys go over to the edge, you can kind of look down and you see that there is a gigantic. It goes all the way down, but it also there's lava at the bottom of it. So it's and there's really just no path across. But you look over, and right at the end of the actual road, before you get to the rent in the land, there is a little is an interesting item. There's a pair of rocket boots. There's a little sign next to it that says, "Use me to cross."
Oh God.
I don't like that.
What would you like to do?
I would like to insight check the rocket boots to see if they're lying to me.
Roll an insight check.
14.
You look at the note, and it seems plainly written. It doesn't seem it to trying to deceive you. It looks like a note that's just trying to tell you to use the boots.
Is there any other way to get across?
Well, you look around and go ahead and roll a perception check. All right. So one of the things you do see, you don't see any real way across. There's no path, but you look over and you can't quite see the pathway on the other side. Like, not only did this change destroy the world, but it destroy this part of the world. It shifted it as well. There was a bit of a plate shift here, and the pathway is now like a mile to the east. It's like crazy how far it shifted on the southern part of the rent. But what you do see is you see a little outpost that's off the path and a little bit behind you. And it's a horde outpost that would likely contain at least a couple of horde guards.
Should we go ask them?
I think that's probably a good idea. I don't know if I want to use these rocket boots.
Yeah, I'm taking them anyway, though. They look cool.
All right, so you're picking up the rocket boots and trying to leave with them?
Yeah.
All right, as soon as you start to lift them off the ground,
Oh,
roll a dexterity saving throw. Okay, so as you start to lift them up off the ground, you see a little bit of a shock on the ground, and it surprises you, and you quickly pull your hand back, and as the shoes drop back to the ground, nothing. There's no shock or anything, but you get the idea that if you try to lift up the rocket boots without using them, they give you a good shock. Kind of it looks like an anti-theft measure.
I kick the rocket boots. Then I turn around and leave.
Yeah, they stay stationary on the ground because they're big, heavy metal boots on the base. But you kick kind of the side that's just kind of made out of leather, and it just kind of flops over and then, or like flops around, but it stays upright.
Stupid.
So you guys are gonna go talk to the guards?
Yeah, let's talk to the guards.
All right.
Ruining all my fun.
So you go into it's basically like a little hut, almost. It's more like wood and metal, but it's the size of just like a small structure. And you go in, and it's a male and female orc. They're both green. The regular livery of like Orgrimmar, and they appear to be two orcish guards that are just stationed here.
How do we get across?
Oh, you're looking to cross into the southern part of the Barrens?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, one of the goblin technicians, he points over to the boots. One of the goblin technicians made boots right there. You strap them on and there's a button on the side and it'll take you to the other side. The goblin will be over there waiting to send a pair back so you guys can each use one.
Do they work?
Well, yeah. The people cross all the time using those. Usually there's a line. You're lucky today. There's no line built up yet today.
Insight check.
Sure, go ahead and make an insight check.
1.
He seems like he's telling the truth.
Kren's gonna go back, or not Kren. Roland. Roland's gonna go back to the boots.
Yeah.
Be like, alright. And put them on and push the button. And
All right. So you push the button and you.
I just have this picture before you. I have this picture of him just exploding and bones just raining down, and like his head just being pissed off.
like Mortal Kombat fatality style.
Yeah, exactly.
Fatality. All right. So you push the button and the rockets on the side of the boots start to just power up and start throwing out fire below you. It's a little bit hot, but you're protected by the boots. They're insulated. And you just lift off the ground. It's like it needed a second to build up, and then you launch up into the air. And as you're going, you get an incredible view of this giant rent in the ground. You are way up in the air, at least 100 feet up in the air as you're traveling over this thing. And you can see at the bottom lava. You can see the occasional skeleton of the impetuous... you don't even know if it's a horde or alliance. They're just skeletons at this point. But they look, generally humanoid. Those, tried to cross without any aid and fell to their death down there. Or maybe just the people that were right there when the earthquake happened. Nobody knows.
Or maybe people that the rocket boots failed on.
Could be. But yeah, it goes over to the other side. And as you start to drop, the boots, flare up again a little bit and slow your descent. And as you land before a female goblin, and her small puppy dog. It's basically a collie, kind of sitting there next to you, next to her.
These things are crazy.
Well, yeah, we needed to invent some way to get people back over here from the other side. And she actually takes a matching pair of boots from that side and hits the button, and the boots, the extra pair of boots, fly to the other side. How many you got in your party anyway? Or are you alone?
Oh no, I'm not alone. We got five.
All right, well, unstrap yourself from those things. We'll send those over.
All right. Take them off.
So, I assume... so, meanwhile, on the other side, you guys see a matching pair of boots fly back to the other side with no Rollin in them.
I'm just gonna yell, because I assume they can see me.
No, it's like a mile. It's like really far.
I'm gonna wave.
They saw you go and they saw you descend that far away, but the rent is too high on each side. They cannot see you now. You're just gone on the other side. But they did see you make it over to the other side.
I'm gonna just start shooting my gun in the air to mean that it worked.
Okay.
We have to hurry. There's fighting going on.
He's getting attacked.
So what would you guys like to do?
I'll hurry over as fast as I can to help Rollin, who's clearly fighting somebody.
All right. So you're putting on the rocket boots and hitting the button.
Yep.
All right. So yeah,
I would have been shooting at the ground, by the way, not into the air. I don't want to accidentally snipe someone
Hey,
out
what
of
the
the
heck
sky.
are you doing?
Just,
She's like holding up her hands defensively, like ah.
Just clay
Just-
pigeon somebody.
No, I was just imagining like accidentally shooting
And,
in the head,
and now she's
killing
looking
them.
down at the rocket boots, like, go ahead, take them. It's fine. You can have them.
I was imagining accidentally like shooting a party member in the head and killing him, and they're like corpse just flying over.
Don't do that. I don't want to be messaged the next day that some player is mad at me because they're blaming another player for their character dying.
That's fair.
All right, so you all eventually, go over and you find that it's indeed not Rollin dying or fighting, just trying to signal you.
Ah, my signal worked.
Is everything okay?
Yeah, I was just trying to signal you guys.
Oh, you probably need to come up with a better way than that. It could be dangerous.
I don't know. You heard it. It's fine.
I just look concerned quietly, and I just look at him like, we'll talk about this later.
All right, so as you guys finish up with Ali Bunt Blaster, designer extraordinaire, she explains a little bit about the boots as each one of you arrive, and then finally sends the last pair back over to the other side, so you can have one on each side.
And Tala gets in it and goes.
See, the real bitch is when she sends, when somebody comes from the south, which is rarer, she has to first use then the boots to go over, send the other pair back, and then flip-flop it, because she can't trust the impetuous adventurers to bother to send the boots back. If
Sure.
Yeah. Anyway.
I would steal them if I could have.
Yeah. Yeah, she thought of that. Pretty smart. She's pretty smart cookie, that Allie. But as you guys continue forward, you get a little bit more of the same road, kind of the orange, but kind of the orangish yellow grass, but it very quickly is taken over by this greenery. And it's very random. You guys are looking around for why it would suddenly change, but it's almost like an oasis kind of mixed with a swamp. It's this large stretch that goes just a little bit after the rent, but actually let me bring up the Southern Barrens map. You guys have made it to the Southern Barrens.
Does it seem abnormal in any way? Like it shouldn't be there?
It does seem otherworldly, but you guys also know it's not new. The overgrowth has been around for a while. But yeah, it's kind of just this random spot in just the middle of the Barrens that just has a little bit of a dense forest. You don't know why it's there. It's people have researched it, but they just can't really explain how to undo it or why it's there. But yeah, you know that there are the occasional crocodile that make their way over from the swampy Duratar part of it, but mostly it's just it's the landscape, and there are a couple of those like long tentacle-like plant growth things. They're just kind of flopping around, but the main pathway has been cleared of all that stuff, even though it's been broken up a little bit. So you guys, you start to head forward through the overgrowth, and as you guys are making your way through, I will have everyone make a perception check.
This might take me a minute, so stand by.
Right. Gotta make 2. Oh,
Right.
and your 2 are... Oh, right. So which one was the cat?
That one.
All right. So the cat...
I went me, O's, and then bigger.
So the cat notices something first. Hears something rustling coming from the tree, from a tree, kind of like a tree, bushy kind of area off to the right of the path. But you'll also see something kind of bubbling from a path to the left that's got water. So you guys all kind of see this as you see two of these giant, like, jungle viney kind of monstrosities that just kind of jump out, almost like they were coordinating. It's very, very weird. But they come to attack, and I will have you guys roll initiative in just a moment. Get you guys over to the overgrowth. I don't know how to scroll you guys over, so it's not letting me scroll all the way. There we go. Overgrowth. And you find yourselves amidst 2 overgrowth. Clear this out real quick. Oh, darn it. Sorry, Andrew, I deleted yours.
I'll roll it again. I got a 14 this time.
Quick, Tallulah, reason with them.
Huh, that's weird. I get advantage on initiative rolls, and they're the exact same.
Yeah.
Which one is O's? I cannot control
Lost.
O's character.
Help, I'm being repressed.
Help, help, I'm being repressed.
That was Bagheera.
And their initiative. Not bad.
Hey,
Alright.
TJ,
Yes.
you want to give me control of Oz's token?
Oh. Yeah.
So I can clickety-click and do some initiative.
Alright, you should be good.
That's interesting. Yeah, I noticed like your icon is, depending on which sheet you have selected, changing.
You mean for me?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can change it down on the bottom. There it is.
I want to give you guys a good visual, so I'm gonna yeah, that's what that looks like.
I
Giant
just
link.
discovered it a few minutes ago. I'm gonna try to, like,
How do you do it?
down at the very bottom right of the chat window, you'll see as double dot, and then it has like a drop down menu, if you will. In this case, drop up.
Oh!
And so when you click, I guess like when you click something, it'll put the actual name. So it'll be a little bit, might take
like
me
that.
a little bit longer to do things, but I'm going to do it that way so it's not as confusing.
That makes my character portrait correct, which makes me happy.
Alright. Well,
Yeah. How about that one?
I think we got everybody, right? Yeah. Alright, well, both Amane and the cat going first. You guys had it kind of fits because you guys had the good perception rolls, so.
Yep.
Your turn first. You see these 2 large, hulking, like, it's almost like a bunch of vines have come together to form this weird monstrosity. The large plant creature that's coming after you. Both
Okay,
of them
I'm
are
gonna
charging
here.
the party.
And I'm going to attack that one.
Okay.
Stand by. Yep, that's it. 4 attacks for first round.
The 17 and the 27 will hit.
Okay. I think I've said this, but I'm sure it's always the last one is my bonus one.
Yeah.
Yes.
So that one does the extra D8.
I like to think that you're not actually using 2 pistols, but you're just holding one and you're just like slamming the hammer down 4 times.
Just fanning the hammer.
Yeah.
Just pop, 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 pop.
Fan the hammer.
I would agree with that, except then I'd only get like 3 attacks.
Sure.
That
We
would-
can just say it for flavor. You know, we're in
flavor,
control
yeah.
of this game. We can do whatever we
I was
want.
like, it was kind of like one of those. Oh shit! Bam, 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 bam.
Is that what Kryn was doing, fanning the hammer on Kryn's musket?
Right, basically.
So 26 points of damage.
All right. It does absorb the hits, and yeah, does the full amount of damage, and but it still looks like it's doing okay. Like, it's good hit, but it's not really slowing it down very much yet.
Mother. Let me check this.
Worth noting that your panther has 40 feet of movement, and it can back up before it starts moving towards something.
Yeah. You saw what I was trying to figure out, right?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. And I actually have 50. Thank you much.
You sure? You're
So
right.
the panther's gonna move to like here and then charge,
Yep.
and it'll do its pounce.
Okay.
So what do I have? So then I'm gonna make a claw attack.
12 misses.
Yep. So nothing happens.
All right.
By the way, this is how he died the first time.
Oh, I know. All right, so this ooze is gonna, or this overgrowth is gonna run up to Oz, and it gets multi-attack. So it will do a couple of slams. I assume a 23 and a 24 hit.
On Oz?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, they do.
All right, so let's
Yeah.
see. All right, so we'll do 2 slam hits. All right, so 16 damage, and it is grappled. So O's is grappled.
I gotta figure out how to play him, so bear with me.
Put a little grappled symbol on it. The net'll work. Oh. Okay, so if both attacks hit a medium or smaller target, the target is grappled, and it uses its engulf. Okay, so yeah. And it swallows Oz. So Oz is now inside of the overgrowth.
He's inside.
Whoop.
Cut.
You guys, Thomas in particular might recognize this model. Let's see.
Is it a bog creeper?
It might be that. It might. I think it's similar to that thing that
Oh.
that
Oh, I
we
see, I
faced
see,
in
I
the
see.
basement of the Death House one.
Gotcha, gotcha. Okay. I'm on board now.
So yeah. So that's that one's turn, and this one's going to attack the cat that just came up and tried to swipe at it. 14 and 25.
Shit.
Oh no! Does a 14 hit?
Yeah.
Okay. So 26 damage, and it gets swallowed as well.
This sucks.
Yeah, these guys are starting off strong.
You almost one-shotted killed Bagheera 2.0. Literally one more point of damage and it would have done it.
He would have been unconscious or dead.
Dead.
Okay, so it's
So he is unconscious.
he is unconscious.
He's unconscious.
And he's now swallowed in this thing's stomach, and now it's gonna run forward. It's 20
Now,
feet of movement.
To be fair, I've been selecting animal companions lower than what I could just because I felt like it went more. If this one dies, I think I'm switching that.
Right. All right. Well, now
Makes
it is
sense.
now it is Tallulah's turn.
Alright, I'm gonna cast Wind Wall. Oh wow, that's terrible damage.
All right.
And
So they gotta make a
I'm gonna-
strength save.
Yeah, and I'll just do it like this. It's 50 feet.
Okay. So the left one fails. It takes 10.
Yep.
And is it half on the save?
Yeah, the other one takes half.
Okay.
Did they get moved?
They do not move, I don't think. And then I will. I'll move right here and I'll attack the one hurting Oz.
Okay, so Wind Wall was a bonus action then?
Maybe I read it wrong. That sounds a little much.
It's an action.
It is an action, you're right. Alright, I'll just move up here then, and then that'll be my turn.
Okay. Hala.
All is going to be awesome.
Hope so.
And I'm going to step. Actually, there's no reason for me to move because I can attack from where I'm at.
Correct.
So I'm going to use, since I'm attacking one-handed now, if I understand correctly.
No, you've actually got a two-handed weapon. That's a two-handed rune blade.
Right, but I'm saying I don't have a shield anymore is what I'm saying.
Right.
Correct.
Oh, okay, never mind. That's only for dueling. Never mind. It's great weapon fighting. Alright, but I'm going to go ahead and do my... sword.
Oof.
But since I have great weapon fighting... No, that's not... That's after I hit.
Yeah.
Yep. But I can attack again.
You can. You got 2 attacks. And 19 will hit.
And how does the Festering Strike work with that?
So Festering Strike is the same as Crusader Strike, so it's just it's necrotic equivalent. So after you hit, you can choose to add the Festering Strike buff. You just check that little box, and then when you hit Banshee's Soul, it'll calculate that damage into your damage roll. Yeah, so you get 11 damage, and then you get
9 necrotic.
9 necrotic, which... let's see... As a plant, wouldn't it be weak to necrotic?
Not
Am
necessarily.
I making that up? Yeah, it's not on the sheet, but so yeah, we'll go 20. So you were hitting the left one?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So you slash it, and you see a couple of the vines just fly off into the water, splashing into the little pool next to it, and it's now looking at you. You made it mad.
Good.
Anything else for you? Bonus action, movement, anything?
No, I'm still not totally understanding all my bonus actions yet. So for right now, I'm good.
Okay. All right. So Oz, from within the belly of the beast.
Has to make a Constitution saving throw.
Yes.
Oof.
And missed the DC 14. So it's going to take 2d8 plus 4. Oh!
Oof.
Oh! Ouch! Mongoose, I'm sorry, you're not even here. 19 damage at the beginning of the turn. And then,
He's blinded, restrained, and unable to breathe, and everything. So he is completely helpless.
Well, he can. It says you can try to break the grapple.
yeah, you can. That's the one. That's the one he can. I mean, you could try to attack from within, but but it's like
Where does it say that?
disadvantage.
I don't see it.
Where it says multi-attack, the overdose, blah, 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 blah.
No. Go down one more. He's engulfed.
Well, right. But you get engulfed if it grapples you.
Well, yeah, but it's restrained. You can use a strength saving throw, or a strength. I don't know if it's a save or a check, but I think you can make a strength check to try and break the grapple or the.
Probably be athletics.
Yeah.
No, I like strength check better.
Let's make it a contested strength check. It's trying to hold you down in its gullet, but you're trying to climb.
Either
out.
one, it doesn't matter. I was thinking saving, but yeah.
I think it's supposed to be DC 14.
Well, DC 14 is the con save.
Well, if you look above that, the
To
grapple,
take the
though.
bludgeoning damage.
If you look above that, the grapple on the multi-attack is DC 14. Either way, he passed it.
Oh, okay, sure. So yeah, Oz climbs up out of its mouth. That is the action to do that, but you still have the bonus action and any movement. I guess I would probably use half your movement.
It didn't
He'll
make
move
him
there.
prone.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, it doesn't say it makes him prone. So yeah, action and movement or bonus.
He'll
action.
move there.
Okay. I think he does have a bonus action for healing, though. What do you call it? He gets it at level 1. Second wind.
I'm looking. Hold on. Sorry.
I actually don't know if he has
Yep.
that.
Yes, he does.
Okay, so roll a d10 and we'll add 6
Six.
for his warrior level. All right, so he gets 12 health back. All right, Rollin.
Rollin's gonna move to here, and Rollin is going to use the Iron Bands of Binding on the guy on the right. So I have to make an attack roll using my dexterity.
Okay.
So that'll be like the same as a. Actually, I think I get proficiency. Let me see. Yeah, dexterity plus proficiency. So that'll be the same as like a dagger attack. So I'm gonna just use my dagger attack, though I'm not hitting it with my dagger. This is a 13 hit.
13 misses.
Okay, I'm gonna run over here and pick the ball up,
Alrighty.
and then I'm going to run back.
Okay. It would get an attack of opportunity against you.
That's fine.
Okay. 14?
No.
Okay. Anything else for you?
Nope.
All right. Amane.
All right. I'm gonna attack the one on the right again.
Okay. Spit it out. Spit it out!
Yep, pretty much.
All 3 of those hit, and the 15s just hit.
I'm gonna use a force point to go through, or a focus point to do my concussive attack.
Okay.
So I want to say DC 13. DC 13.
For con?
Yep.
No.
So it suffers disadvantage on the attacks on all attacks until the end of their next turn.
Okay. Very nice. All right. Death saving throw for the cat.
Well, it's gonna take damage. It's inside of it, unless it spits it out.
Well, it's if he passes his con save, he doesn't take damage.
Yeah. So and then
So there's a small chance it could survive.
so then
And
yeah,
what
I
is
guess
I think you might automatically fail saves when you're.
Yeah, I think you
infected.
automatically fail con saves when you're unconscious.
Yep.
all right.
You son of a bitch.
So then on I guess on its turn it would automatically take the damage. I think I still have to roll 2d8 plus 4 to see if it exceeds their health max.
Should have bought a
Well-
backup cat.
Yep.
I think it would just automatically fail a death save. If it's already
Yep.
unconscious, it'll just automatically fail a death save.
Okay, so yeah.
Yeah.
Right, but
do
even
we
if
still roll the death save for the turn though?
Yeah.
Okay, so
Yes.
it's 1 pass, 1 fail then.
Correct.
Okay, sounds good to me.
and then here's a question: if it's unconscious and it takes damage exceeding its con score,
It's
would it be on? It'd be
Yeah.
okay. So we do need to roll the damage then,
Okay.
Yeah, I guess you do.
because it could kill it.
13.
Bye.
Oh, what was its max health? 12? I thought it was
10.
like 17.
No, because it's con score, not health, right?
No, it's health. Max health for
Oh.
the auto death.
Never mind, it's still alive.
Yeah.
All right, so yeah, it does, yeah, because it's not.
But that'd be
it's not
another
a melee
failure, right?
attack, it's just a fail. Well, no, that was the damage it took, so that was the failed death save. So it's at 1 and 1. All right, so now on its turn, it's going to turn and spit out the panther because it would like to engulf something else.
Whoever's right there needs to run.
And it's going to turn and attack Tala. Or the right one. So does a 20 hit? I don't think it does. You're at 21, right?
He's muted.
Yeah,
And
he's
Oh.
muted and deaf.
Okay, I can look that up.
I don't think it does, though.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we set him to 21 at the beginning, so yeah. So those will both miss, and then on the right, this one is very annoyed at Tala as well, because it slammed him pretty hard. So it is also going to take 2 swipes at Tala. So 26 will hit.
Yes.
13 damage.
34.
All right, and that is it for them. Tallulah.
Alright, I'm gonna cast. I'll drop the wind wall. And I'll cast a flaming sphere. Right in between them.
Alrighty. So they gotta make dex saves. They fail. So does it do the 5 damage immediately when it comes up?
Yep, and I think it's at the start of each of their turns.
Yep,
Okay.
I think Andrew's back.
Amen.
Yes.
So so you see the flame kind of curl up on it, but it doesn't seem to bother it very much.
Okay, I'm gonna use my bonus action to slam it into the one on the right. So just make another dex save or take more
Okay.
damage.
Alright, so it made the save.
So it takes
Yeah,
half.
and again, it doesn't really seem to mind the fire. It does.
That's
You see it burn up a little bit of its vines, but these things are like big, wet, swampy kind of creatures, and so the fire isn't doing a whole lot. All right, and anything else?
I think that's it.
Alrighty, Allah.
I'm gonna go ahead and that one to the left of me.
Huh?
Gonna hit it again.
All right. Yeah, that hits.
I'm doing necrotic again.
So each time you do that, it does use one of your spell slots. So you want to make sure to mark off using your spell slots. You can also, if you have higher spell slots, you can add a D8 to that roll. Just by like rolling another D8 if you want to do like a level 2 or 2D8 for a level 3.
I'm gonna do level 2.
Okay. So yeah, check the box and hit the damage, and then you can just roll another D8. Ooh, nice. Got the festering strike, and as you hit it, like you can see that not only are you slashing the vines away, but you're also like that necrotic energy is also starting to cause it to wither a little bit around where the strike you landed.
And that's the first hit, and I'm gonna hit it again.
Okay. 16 hits.
And I'm going to go ahead and use the second level spell one more time.
Okay.
Still 25. It's pretty good.
Solid hits indeed. And you see that it's starting to fall apart. This whole thing is just a big mess of tangles. As you start to carve more into it, you see more of its anatomy, and it's having the magic that holds it together is starting to fail as it's just slowly falling apart. One of its arms is just completely gone now, and it's just swiping at everybody with just the one arm. So Oz's turn. And I actually didn't notice this, but you guys have the left one flanked, so those would have been an advantage, but they hit anyway. So
I think he can rage as a bonus action.
yep. So then he gets
So he
three
will
rage.
rage.
He gets 3 rage points to his rage pool, and then he
Okay.
can use those to either reroll damage or he can augment one of his attacks with one of the Master at Arms abilities. So he hasn't used that yet. Gotta have a talk with him about that. Might I suggest a?
I see it. Okay, and I think he gets 2 attacks.
He does get 2 attacks.
So he will attack with his vicious maul.
Okay. Yeah, that hits.
oh,
Well, the first one hits.
that's has advantage and rolls 2 ones.
Yeah.
Okay, so as a free thing, because I know that doesn't cost anything, to overpower, which adds a d6 to the damage.
So the overpower would only apply to the next hit.
Ooh, you're right. Okay, he'll do it anyways.
So yeah, it would apply if that second one had hit. So yeah, you don't get overpower on the first hit.
Yep. Okay.
But yeah, it's still
So
it's the basic hit.
We'll do it
still
for
hits.
we'll do it for the next one. So 11.
Okay.
And I think every time he makes a hit, he gets a point or something like that.
So he gets to build up overpowers, but once he misses, it drops. So that the double ones means that drops, and you'd have to start it over again the next turn.
Okay.
All right. So, did you want to move anywhere?
No, he'll stay there.
All right, Rollin,
I'm gonna try to throw the iron bands of binding at the one on the right again.
do it again.
Yeah, make
Yeah.
a DC 20 strength save.
Yeah, here we go. No.
Boom. There's what happens to you.
All right.
That's my turn.
Give me a rundown so I don't have to read the whole book. What happens?
So it is the restrained condition,
Okay.
which means its speed is 0.
Mhm.
Attack rolls against it have advantage. Attack rolls it makes have disadvantage. It has disadvantage on dex saves.
Okay. Cool. Amane.
And that's the one on the right?
It's the one on the right.
Thank you. Amane is going to walk up right here, stare at it, and be like, eat my panther, and shoot it in the head.
Okay.
And I have a feat where I don't have disadvantage
So
for
you just
being
have
within.
advantage on the shot, so full execution style.
Oh, yeah. Fuck this thing.
Yep,
We're definitely gonna have to get a couple backup Panthers.
all of those.
No, like, if
all
this
of
one
those hit.
dies, I'm getting a bear. It's just... all hit?
Yeah, all of them. All right, so that is 26.
Yep.
And same thing's happening with this one. You guys are carving it apart, and it is starting to show. Anything else for you?
That is it.
All right, death saving throw for the panther.
Bye bye, Bagheera.
Ooh, that's a second fail. So 1 success, 2 fails for the panther. And now it is the overgrowth's turn. The left one is going to turn to.
Wait, it takes damage.
Oh yeah, so they both take damage, don't they?
Yeah, they do.
Do you roll new damage or?
Yeah.
All right.
Okay, so one of them takes half.
Left one. That one. All right, and so the left one, actually, they're both very concerned over Tala, who's been just slashing away. But actually, yeah, this one, the right one actually is going to turn to the one that's shooting it with the pistol and try and hit it. But first, we'll do the left one. No, just clinks off of Tala's armor, no problem. Those vines aren't getting to you. And 2 slams at disadvantage for Amai. No. Alright, and that's their turn. Tallulah.
All right. I'm gonna bonus action slam the sphere to this one.
Okay.
Oh,
Even with disadvantage. Let's see. Alright.
And then I will. I don't know if I want to do that actually. All right, I will attack the one in front of me with my quarterstaff.
Okay. 13 misses. Oh no, you have advantage because you're flanking. So 21 hits. Right.
bunk.
Yep. You hit it in the leg, and some of the vines kind of quiver a little bit. It's getting weaker.
Nice. That's it for me.
All right, Allah. Both looking kind of rough. 28 hits.
And I'm gonna go ahead and do one more necrotic on that. I want these things gone.
Fester, fester, fester.
21.
Alrighty. Still up, but looking very rough.
Okay, I'm gonna hit it one more time.
27 hits.
And that's just regular.
Oh, it's so close.
Oh Jesus.
It's okay. Your buddy will finish it.
The thing is hanging on by a little literal thread. Like most of its face is drooping, and it's kind of it's almost just a pile of vines at this point.
Oh God, it's having a stroke.
It's basically it's having a bad day. That's for sure. Oz, aka
Alrighty.
Jeremy 3.0.
Oz is going to go ham. The one on the left is looking pretty close to dying.
Death's Door.
Ooh. Sorry, I'm just trying to look at everything it has.
Sure.
Okay. He's going to make his 2 attacks with his Vicious Maul.
All right, so the first one hits, and you don't even have to roll. It will take that one out.
It matters.
Yeah. And then the second one.
Because he's going to go through and use Victory Rush. You can use this ability on your last melee attack, reduce the target to 0 hit points. You may spend up to 2 rage points to convert your damage into healing.
So what you would do is the first attack hits, and then the next one you can spend the rage points to apply that to your second hit, and it'll heal for however much, based on how much rage you spend, 50% per rage point of that hit. So you can go over
your
and
next
attack
hit.
this one, and that hit, you apply Victory Rush, and then you heal from that one.
So you heal from the second strike.
Right.
Okay. So all right.
So
Then,
you go over, and I assume you go over and attack.
well, I don't. Can you? I don't think you can move in between multi attacks.
You can. Totally can.
Yeah, you can.
100%. And a 25 hits, so you can check one box of overpower, and then you can roll your damage with the healing.
Okay, gotcha.
Okay, so 11 damage. And do you want to spend 1 or 2 rage points?
What's the
Okay.
difference?
You get 50% of the damage dealt if you spend 1, 100% if you spend 2.
Oh, we'll spend 2.
Alright, so you
Why
heal
not?
for 11. Alrighty. And then next up is Rollin.
I'm gonna move into melee with this thing. I'm going to attack it.
Stabby stab.
Oh, I crit it.
Yep, both of those hit. Both crit. Or one crit.
Okay, so that does.
Yeah, that's enough. So you kill it on the first strike. Alright. Very nice. Now, would anyone like to do anything as we come out of the combat turn order?
Does anybody need some heals?
Panther, technically.
Well,
I'm
Panther's
gonna-
dead.
I'm gonna say the magic word and make the ball collapse again, and then pick it up and stuff it in my pouch.
Okay. Panther is bleeding out, but is not dead.
Oh, I thought it was dead. Okay, I will
No,
heal
it's
it then.
two death saving throws. But yeah. Okay. Just before the Panther would have to make a potentially lethal third death saving throw, Hala throws a bonus action at it and brings it back up.
Your cat survived combat! Yay!
Yay!
I don't have a
Alrighty.
lot of spells left. Wait, never mind. I'm fine. I have enough. I used all my big ones, though.
Oh, I feel like we should rest.
I agree.
Yeah, you guys could definitely sit down and take a short rest. As these things fall apart, you see them kind of burbling, and the their vines kind of, sprawling up like snakes that are, shaking and convulsing. But they do eventually just flop around, and eventually it's just a big, giant pile of just vines and mush, and the unnatural nature of this overgrowth. Some of these plants have come alive, and these were apparently two of the big things that need to feed in order to stay alive. So they thought maybe they'd make you a snack, but you proved a little bit more up to the task in fending them off.
I definitely need a long rest.
Yeah.
For spells, but I have full HP.
So in our scenario where we were saying that the Azeroth equivalent of a Thursday night would be when the fight is going on, it is now Wednesday. So you guys have the rest of the day and then tomorrow, and you guys are almost there. If you look at the map, you guys are about halfway through the overgrowth, and then that road leads right down. Right below that is Forward Command, Vendetta Point, the ruins of Taraho, and the Great Gate is that you can kind of see the gate on the map there to the left. So it's the army is stationed to the left of the ruins of Taraho, kind of between that and the road that leads out of the Great Gate.
And we're trying to go to the Great Gate?
So what Bane had asked you to do was to sneak down and around, because Fort Triumph is south of that. You guys can actually see Northwatch Hold is off to the right.
Right.
So all of these are Alliance-held lands now, because Northwatch Hold had pushed forward to Forward Command and then destroyed Camp Taraho, which was a Horde-held camp for the Tauren. So that's why they put up the Great Gate, because they didn't want them to come into Mulgore. But all of the Vendetta Point is just a little station that the Horde's got up there. That's where the troll army is going to come from. So you guys can either try to sneak around and try to hide somewhere south of Tarajo for the night, or you guys can try and sneak north to Vendetta Point, where you'll actually have like a protected little fort that they have there. It's basically just a small station that hasn't been taken over yet.
Was our end goal Northwatch or Fort Triumph?
Your end goal is to ambush the people that are sitting right outside the Great Gate when the trolls attack from the north at Vendetta Point. The trolls will be arriving tomorrow from the same direction, and then they're going to attack from the north, and you guys were asked to attack from the south after they do that.
I don't know. I almost feel like we should not go to Vendetta Point because we'll be very conspicuous there, and they might note that our arrival and all that.
Yeah, I mean, if you guys are trying to be sneaky, it's up to you guys. You can, you could also just camp in the overgrowth. It seems like you guys have dealt with most of the threat from around the area where you are. Totally up to you. What do you guys like to do?
What does everyone else think?
I think we make our way to the edge of the overgrowth. Go a little further, get to the most non-conspicuous spot, and take a long rest.
Works for me.
Okay, so you guys, you kind of leave the path a little bit. You kind of go through the overgrowth. Again, your party's pretty big, especially with the mounts that you guys have. You guys are able to kind of deter any random, smaller creature or any of those random crocodiles that are hanging around. They don't have any interest in attacking you. And you guys do eventually find a small area that you can kind of just hide out in. You guys kind of look out and you can see the forward command from there. You guys are kind of in between Alliance-held territories. Northwatch Hold is a really big military encampment, and forward command is just kind of a little outpost that they have. But you can kind of watch as anybody that's traveling between goes by, because you guys are off their road, just kind of hanging out in the jungle off the road there. And you guys can complete a long rest, and we move on to the day of the attack.
So is this a good spot to stop, considering Goose is gone, and we'll be to pick up next time?
Yeah, I think that'll work out pretty well.
Hi.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Thanks, Jay.
Yeah,
I'm
great
sorry,
game,
I was
guys.
gone for a second. Did we take a long rest?
Yeah,
We
you
did.
guys have completed a long rest. And you guys are just outside, or just inside of the overgrowth, basically the southernmost tip of the jungle. All right. So now I'll have 2 weeks to prepare more fun stuff for you guys. I realized that this was going to be kind of a long and...
Technically 3.
Oh, yeah, you're right. The normal week I have, and then 2 more weeks.
Yep.
But yeah, you guys, I realized this was going to be kind of a long. It was going to be like a lot of shopping, and then a lot of like RP stuff, and then a lot of traveling when I was writing up the script. And I'm like, I need to throw a battle in here, so I added the overgrowth stuff this afternoon.
Oh, right.
Right. So.
Nice,
But,
dude.
yeah, very well done. And I look forward to that session 0 next week with Goose. Hope he's feeling better.
He'll be
Yeah,
fine.
absolutely.
He's just being a little bitch.
Yeah, let's get that on
Very-
record before we close the stream.
So is
I'm
he
very
running?
glad he
Is he running 2 games for you? What is he doing? Next week.
Next week, we're gonna do session 0. he had put it in chat earlier today.
All right. Well, I'm going to quickly just close out the stream. Thanks everybody for watching. We'll put this VOD up as soon as we can onto YouTube. The second half. Again, I apologize that we missed the first half. It's just kind of my bad. I forgot to uncheck the audio, so we're going to cut that part out, and we'll upload the second half, which is really all of the main stuff. But you guys get a sense of everything there anyway. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys next time. Have a good night.